I am Franz Schubert. I was born in Ostergrum, Vienna, Austria. I was born on January 31st, 1797 to November 19th, 1828. I died in the same place I was born in, Vienna, Austria. I composed in the 19th century and composed over 600 compositions. Between 1813 and 1815, I proved to be a prolific songwriter. By 1814, I had written a number of piano pieces and had produced string quartets, a symphony, and a three-act opera. Boosted by a wealth of late 18th century lyric poetry and the development of the piano, I tapped the poetry of giants like Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, showing the world the possibility of representing their works in musical form. In 1818, I had not only found a welcome audience for my music, but I had grown tired of teaching. I left education to pursue music full-time. My decision was sparked in part by the first public performance of one of my works, the Italian Overture in C major, on March 1st, 1818 in Vienna. I was hired by two opera houses, the Kartchner Theater and Theater an der Wien, to compose a pair of operas, neither of which fared very well. Music publishers, meanwhile, were afraid to take a chance on me, in which my music was not considered traditional. None of the finished pieces, however, brought me the fortune I deserved, or so greatly needed. Battling health problems, I again turned to music for escape. In 1824, I turned out three chamber works, the string quartet in A minor, a second string quartet in D minor, and octet in F major. I was one of the torchbearers at Beethoven's funeral in 1827. I composed mostly romantic classical music. I composed over 600 lieders, which are German songs, and 9 symphonies. Der Orkanig was a song I composed. It was my first published piece and is extremely well known. Winterreise, which means winter journey, was the last of my cycle. As a kid, I played the piano, violin, and the organ. I appeared strong and powerful. I have an impressive personality that can influence and even intimidate through sheer voice. My competence My competence and enthusiasm attracts people with resources. I radiate confidence. People defer to me because they sense my sureness and effectiveness. I also exude a kind of controlled benevolence. People sense that I am generous, once I am convinced of worthiness of the cause. My primary problems were a lack of larger audience and exposure of my music while I was alive. Many of my works have not been performed until after my death. I was disappointed that I was never able to write a completely adequate opera. I also had a problem finishing compositions, leaving a number of works other than the unfinished symphony incomplete. I was always poor and rather unworldly. I was unable to find full-time employment, and therefore I had to rely on help from school, friends, and family to live. Later in life, I had health issues caused by syphilis, typhoid, and possibly mercury poisoning. I attracted this disease, syphilis, when I was 24 years old. This disease caused me to die when I was 31 years old.